Welcome to EPG Pathashala. I am Ravi Korishettar, Senior Fellow, Dr. V.S. Wakankar, Archaeological Institute, Bhopal. In the subject of Indian culture and paper 2 on pre and protohistoric cultures of India, this module deals with the earliest evidence for human biocultural evolution. The aim of this presentation is to understand when and where human evolution as well as cultural evolution took place. Against the background of evidence from different parts of the world, it has now been found that Africa occupies an important place in the study of human biocultural evolution. And to date, the earliest evidence of human ancestors who were able to walk upright as well as manipulate the resources in the environment to manufacture tools and implements have been traced to different parts of Africa, particularly the East African region. The earliest dated evidence about the human ability to walk upright as well as to make stone tools have been recorded from Eastern African sites in Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, and such places, particularly in the East African Rift Valley. For a very long time, human evolution was traced in Africa to a variety of species which were known to paleoanthropologists as Australopithecines and Homo. The relationship between Australopithecines and Homo was not clearly established, and the increasing evidence of variety of human ancestors going back in time to late Miocene periods has given a very complicated picture of the human ancestral evolution. And the family tree that has been reconstructed based on the study of fossil remains from different parts of Africa also presents a very complex picture. In order to make the story simple, in the context of understanding the background to Indian prehistory, we would like to begin our discussion with the earliest evidence of Homo. The term Homo refers to man, and habilis is the earliest Homo human ancestor who has been credited to have made the first stone tools anywhere in the world. As a result of this particular discovery and the direct evidence of human ability to make simple stone artifacts, Homo habilis has been identified as the earliest stone tool maker. And the successive series of human ancestors who are associated with stone tools and development of new stone tool technologies have been also traced to Africa. This slide presents a series of pictures depicting the evolution of humans as well as development of stone tool technologies associated with them. Although Australopithecus is considered a human ancestor, so far there is no clear evidence of the ability of Australopithecus for making stone tools. However, the oldest tools are now suspected to go back to 3.2 million years or so in Africa. But most clear and concrete evidence of the earliest evidence of stone tool making ability in human ancestors is associated with Homo habilis. Homo is the term that we use to denote humans. Homo means humans and habilis means habituated to making tools. And this laid the basis for the rise of culture, that is what we say human behavior as compared to the behavior of the animals. Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalensis, Homo ergaster, Homo rudolfensis, and such terms are replete in paleoanthropological literature. Because during the course of last 40 years or so, multiple varieties of human ancestors who possessed erect posture as well as ability to walk upright have been considered in the family tree tracing the history of human evolution back to late Miocene. But as far as archaeology is concerned, the direct evidence of tool making ability in human ancestors is one of the important criteria to begin prehistoric reconstructions. So in this context, the stone tool assemblages that have been found in Africa in association with human remains, human ancestral remains, are considered for tracing both biocultural evolution of humans. And this body of evidence is very well preserved in African context, and that is why Africa occupies an important place in the study of prehistory of mankind. Homo habilis is the first human ancestor who made very simple tools. They are known by the term Old One, and they are called Old One because the first discovery of the Homo habilis and the simple flake tools that were found along with Homo habilis were found in Olduvai Gorge, and that is the reason why the earliest stone tools are called Old One. Interestingly, these type of tools have not been found outside of Africa, and also the fossil remains of human ancestors who were the authors of Old One tools have also not been found outside of Africa, and they are dated to about 2.5 to 2.6 million years ago. Subsequently, by around 1.8 million years ago or nearly 2 million years ago, a successor human ancestral species named Homo erectus appears in the African paleoanthropological record. In this context, Homo erectus is the first inventor of a distinctive type of stone tool assemblage known as Acheulean and cleaver stone artifacts. A combination of hand axes and cleavers is called Acheulean technocomplex. The term Acheulean actually comes from an European site in France, but the first discoveries were made in France, whereas the discoveries that were made later in Africa appear much earlier than in Europe. Although the site is in Europe, the typical tools which have been named Acheulean remains the common terminology, which include the distinctive type of hand axes and cleavers. So the African Homo erectus and the African assemblage of hand axes and cleavers is the oldest anywhere in the world till today. In the African paleoanthropological record, Homo habilis is followed by Homo erectus, and Homo erectus is followed by Homo sapiens, and subsequently Homo sapiens is followed by Homo sapiens. There is another distinctive species restricted to the European continent, and this human ancestral species is named Homo neanderthalensis. The ancestor of both Homo sapiens and Homo neanderthalensis has now been traced to Homo rudolfensis, which occur in different parts of Europe. The chief trait of human evolution is bipedalism, and antecedents of bipedalism in hominins in Africa goes back to 4.5 million years, and that the oldest known human ancestor which possessed bipedalism is identified as Ardipithecus ramidus, Australopithecus anamensis, Australopithecus afarensis, and Australopithecus gurri. This group of human ancestors are known to represent earlier stage in the human evolution, but so far there is no direct evidence of stone tool making ability in any of these. Australopithecines and early Homo shared eastern and southern African habitats during early Pleistocene, and they are not known to have been tool makers. That is why in prehistory we would not like to consider Australopithecine groups as human ancestors in the context of origins of culture and human behavior. This slide also presents the fossil remains that have been discovered in different parts of Africa, and their names are also given here. Homo habilis, as we mentioned earlier, is the oldest known human ancestor who made the tools called Olduvai tools. They have been found in East Africa, particularly in the Olduvai Gorge, and they date in time from about 2.5 million years ago. And the earliest stone tools have been categorized as Mode 1 stone tools. Fossil record across the old world after 500,000 years includes Homo sapiens in Africa, Homo neanderthalensis in Europe, Denisovans in Inner Asia, that is Siberia, and Homo erectus in China as well as in Southeast Asia. Homo neanderthalensis is largely restricted to Europe and some parts of Northern Asia. They fully evolved with classical features between 190 to 130,000 years ago. They were well adapted to cold conditions of the Middle Pleistocene Europe. Nearly 500 fossils of Neanderthal have been documented from different parts of Europe. Neanderthals and anatomically modern humans, that is Homo sapiens, coexisted in Southwest Asia, and the sites such as Khul and Kafje in Israel have given evidence of their coexistence. Anatomically modern human remains have been found to date from 120,000 years to 90,000 years ago in the Levantine region, particularly in Israel. Neanderthal remains have been found at Kebera Cave and Amuda Cave, and the dates of these caves occupations go back to 60 to 50,000 years ago. Western European Neanderthals survived till about 40,000 years ago. They had comparable cognitive capabilities and behavioral similarities with with modern humans that has been recorded from different parts of Africa as well as Europe. In summary, Homo sapiens during the last 500 million years, there was regional populations have been identified based on fossil evidence as well as the cultural material that has been recovered from the excavations at a number of sites. The African Homo erectus is also known as ergaster. Homo erectus outside of Africa is known as Homo erectus, whereas the African Homo erectus is known as Homo ergaster. He is the ancestor of Homo rudolfensis. More hominin characteristics included large body, larger brain, meat consumption, adaptation to near geographical environments, and also controlled use of fire. The first dispersal of Homo erectus out of Africa appears to have occurred from about 2 million years ago onwards, and this phase of human expansion out of Africa has been referred to as out of Africa 1, and this model has been has been applied to explain the timing and the dispersal of Homo erectus populations in Europe and in the Indian subcontinent as well. Majority of human ancestral fossil remains have been found in Africa and in Europe. Outside of Africa, in Asia, there very few sites are known, and the representative sites are in Southeast Asia and in China. And Homo erectus is associated with the Acheulean technocomplex. China and Java, where Homo erectus associated with simple tools, survived till about 300,000 years ago. Around 300,000 years ago, morphologically distinctive fossils of hominins appear alongside Homo erectus in China. Conventionally, out of Africa too refers to the spread of anatomically modern humans, leading to complete peopling of the world. Now, the emergence of Homo sapiens around 200,000 years ago in Africa also led to the rise of Middle Stone Age technology, and this Homo sapiens was capable of expanding out of Africa into different parts of the world, and they initially expanded into the old world in the region where previously Homo erectus populations had colonized, and also entered into those areas where European Neanderthal colonies already existed. And these Homo erectus populations gradually expanded into the old world and completed their expansion by crossing over large water bodies and colonizing Australia, Southeast Asia, and ultimately the Americas. Out of Africa 1 refers to expansion of Homo erectus, Homo ergaster out of Africa in the old world, and the old world refers to 3 contiguous continental areas, Africa, Europe, and Asia, and this occurred in the early Pleistocene. Now, colonization refers to expansion or dispersal of human populations from one geographical area to another geographical area. Initial expansion of Homo erectus occurred within Africa from Central and Eastern Africa to Northern Africa around 1.8 to 2 million years ago. Into the Indian subcontinent, although the evidence is not very clear and primarily the expansion is recorded in the form of the presence of stone artifacts represented by hand axes and cleavers. Even in the Indian subcontinent, in spite of nearly 150 years of search for early human settlements, only stone tool assemblages have been reported, but there is a distinctive lack of fossil human remains in the Indian subcontinent. As of today, we have a clear idea that as early as Lower Pleistocene, going up to 1.5 million years ago, we have the expansion of Homo erectus has having taken place, and the sites like Athirampakkam and Isampur in southern India and the sites in the Pabbi Hill regions of modern Pakistan are clear indicators of the fact that Homo erectus might have expanded into the Indian subcontinent in the early Pleistocene itself. Expansion of Homo erectus into East Asia and Southeast Asia and Europe is relatively later in time. Although Southeast Asia has recorded very early presence of Homo erectus, East Asia and Europe have presented only about 1 million year ago expansion of Homo erectus into those regions. Regional differentiation in terms of species and populations between 1.8 and 0.8 million years ago has also been noticed. Short chronology has been advocated for colonization of Europe, but there are scholars who argue for even earlier expansion of Homo erectus into Europe as well. So there is ongoing debate between short chronologies and long chronologies with respect to expansion of Homo erectus populations into Europe. In the Middle Pleistocene Europe and Southwestern Asia and South Asia, morphologically distinctive hominins with tool assemblages comparable to mode 2 assemblages in Africa appear in the archaeological record. And this is attributed to Homo heidelbergensis expanding out of Africa into Europe and other parts of the world. Although expansion of Homo erectus is considered out of Africa 1 and expansion of modern humans, anatomically modern humans, as out of Africa 2, in the context of Europe, the presence of Homo heidelbergensis fossils in the European archaeological record is considered to represent out of Africa 2, and expansion of Homo sapiens into Europe is considered out of Africa 3. Here are some examples of Homo heidelbergensis fossils found in Europe. In recent years, an interesting assemblage of hominin remains dating back to about 80 to 90,000 years. Initially, they were considered about 40,000 years ago. And this body of evidence coming from the island of Flores in Indonesia has thrown a lot of excitement and has contributed to developing new dimensions in our understanding of human evolution. The evidence of dwarf fossil remains of human ancestors who were also bipeds and have also been credited to have been tool makers have been found from a series of excavations conducted in the caves at Lingbua, and that has helped in identifying a distinctive group of human ancestors. Now these were initially dated to later Pleistocene, but most recent dates suggest that they are even earlier. So the excavation of cave of Lingbua on the island of Flores is an important development in the context of human origin studies. They are small-bodied skeletal remains dated from about 97 to 12,000 years ago. They were individuals of 1 meter tall and with an endocranial volume of 380 cc. So this smaller cranial size is an important factor to consider their ancestry comparable to Homo erectus. Otherwise, later hominins have much larger brain size. Homo floresiensis fossils are also found in association with variety of fauna and bone remains revealing cut marks as well. So the use of stone tools by Homo floresiensis is very well established. They appear to have descended from the native Homo erectus. And then the paleoanthropological debate pertains to identifying this as a distinctive species or as a descendant from Homo erectus. Homo floresiensis is possibly a local descendant of local Homo erectus. That is the general conclusion. Denisovans are another group of human ancestral fossils that have been found in Siberia, and excavations at that particular cave in Altai Mountains of southern Siberia have gave a fossil of distal phalanx bone of an archaic hominin dating back to about 50,000 years ago. These hominin fossils are associated with Middle Paleolithic type of stone tools. Genetics also indicates some kind of sharing of DNA between Neanderthals and Denisovans. Two waves of settlements of Southeast Asia and Oceania have been inferred on the basis of the study of ancient DNA of populations in Australia and Northern Asia. In mainland Eurasia, two forms of archaic hominins are known in the Upper Pleistocene. In Western Eurasian hominin is identified as Neanderthals, and in the Eastern Asian hominin is Denisovans. So as we mentioned earlier, during the time period from about 500,000 years ago onwards, the old world witnessed the presence of distinctive populations distributed between Europe, Northern Asia and Southern Asia and so on. So Denisovans is a major discovery of the last 15 years or so. The ongoing research is likely to contribute more information on the Denisovans' relationship with contemporary Homo sapiens as well as Neanderthals. So this slide gives you a clear picture of the comparison of cranial features associated with the sequence of human ancestors from Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo floresiensis and Homo naledi. Homo naledi has been recently discovered from southern Africa, but much information on its biocultural aspects is still to come to light. Homo neanderthalensis is an important population that survived in Europe for a very, very long time, from about 500,000 years ago to till about 40,000 years ago. Then they occupied generally Europe, Central and Western Asia. As mentioned earlier, nearly 500 fossil remains of Neanderthals have been found. Fossil remains in Asia lies between Taurus and Zagros mountains in Southwest Asia. They are also credited to have employed Levallois-Mousterian technology to produce Middle Paleolithic stone tools. Fossil specimens range in time from about 400 to 25,000 years ago. The upper time mark has been revised to 40,000 years ago based on recent studies of both African, European Homo neanderthalensis as well as Homo sapiens fossils. Striking similarity is seen in the presence of projectile technology in both anatomically modern humans and Neanderthals, indicating the fact that even Neanderthals were behaviorally modern. Neanderthals have been considered to have emerged from the non-African or European Homo heidelbergensis around 500 to 400,000 years ago. Morphologically negligible difference in the body mass index between Neanderthals and anatomically modern humans. The genetic analysis of Neanderthal DNA and Y chromosome not only reveal spatio-temporal variation among the Neanderthals, but also the fact that both Neanderthals and modern humans genetical similarity goes up to about 4%. This is the result of interbreeding that occurred between the African anatomically modern humans and European Neanderthals during their coexistence in Europe. Anatomically modern humans and Neanderthals' physical characteristics show average body mass, average height and body mass index are close to each other, though Neanderthals were slightly more massive and shorter. So, interrelationship between advancing Homo sapiens from Africa and the pre-existing Homo neanderthals has been intensively researched in recent years in Europe. And the evidence relates to the debate whether the evidence that has been obtained from the study has contributed to a debate whether there was an assimilation between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, or Homo sapiens replaced Neanderthals over a period of time. Now, this debate is being intensified in the context of conflicting evidence coming from different parts of Europe. Debate on behavioral modernity also exists because of the assimilation model. The modern behavioral traits relating to modernity is attributed to the interbreeding between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals in Europe. Their presence has been attributed to borrowing from incoming Homo sapiens. All such arguments based on insufficient archaeological data and similar lithic technology, cultural interaction as well as interbreeding over the years. It is suggested that nearly for about 10,000 years, both advancing Homo sapiens and Neanderthals coexisted in Europe. The Neanderthals' last appearance in Europe is placed at 40,000 years ago. Evidence of use of red pigment by the Neanderthals as early as 200,000 years ago is also documented. So, such evidence have contributed to this kind of a debate regarding the independent origins of behavioral modernity in the Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. In the Indian subcontinent, the fossil record of human ancestors is very poor. There is such a low preservation of these fossil remains, whereas the stone artifact assemblages representing different stages of both cultural and human evolution are very well documented. But here, the best known examples are very few, and the oldest fossil known in the Indian subcontinent comes from the Narmada Valley at a site called Hathnora. This is placed between 200 to 250,000 years ago. Whereas Sri Lanka happens to preserve the best evidence of anatomically modern human fossils. There are several sites which have been dated to about 50,000 years ago onwards. New dating methods have also facilitated substantiating the colonization events of Homo sapiens as well as Homo erectus in the Indian subcontinent. And they have pushed the presence, antiquity of the presence of earliest settlements to lower Pleistocene, as has been mentioned earlier. The presence of anatomically modern humans is now assigned to the presence of Middle Paleolithic dated to 77 to 80,000 years ago from the site of Jwalapuram in southern India. Recent absolute dates for both lower and middle Paleolithic and microlithic sites are in conformity with the earlier dating of Paleolithic contexts in Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and Western India. The immigrant populations moved eastwards of Southwest Asia and colonized the Indian subcontinent much earlier than entering temperate Europe. This is the example of the earliest fossil remain reported from the site of Hathnora in central India. Homo sapiens from Nektankeri 1 and 2 in central India. The fossil remains of anatomical modern humans in Sri Lanka are known from a couple of cave sites such as Bathadomba Lena, Beli Lena, Kitulgala, and Fahian caves in Sri Lanka. In summary, it is very clear that the African paleoanthropological record as well as record of earliest stone tool assemblages belonging to mode 1 are only found in Africa, whereas the fossils of Homo erectus and the typical stone tools associated with Homo erectus are found outside of Africa. They represent the first expansion of human ancestors out of Africa, leading to colonization of the Indian subcontinent and other contiguous regions as well. As of now, we place the first colonization of the Indian subcontinent by Homo erectus around 1.5 to 1.7 million years ago in the lower Pleistocene. Based on recent excavations at Jwalapuram and dating of the Middle Paleolithic to around 80,000 years ago has also helped us push the antiquity of expansion of Homo sapiens out of Africa into the Indian subcontinent around 100,000 years ago. In the intervening geographical areas, there are some sites which have also given supporting evidence for the early expansion modern humans into the Indian subcontinent. In addition to this, there is an ongoing debate regarding the paths of dispersal of human ancestors out of Africa, either during out of Africa 1 or during out of Africa 2. Out of Africa 2 expansion into the Indian subcontinent and beyond is looked at from the perspective of coastal routes as well as inland routes. In recent years, there is new area of research focusing on ancient DNA. This study is likely to contribute complementary information to the ongoing research and reconstruction based on paleoanthropology and prehistory. For more details, please go through the e-text. Thank you.